Some fish don't just swim, they take casual walks on land, climb roots, and give every frog in the mangrove swamp a midlife crisis. And it's not even for attention. It's just how they live. Most creatures in the animal kingdom stick to one environment. Birds fly, fish swim, frogs hop. But then there's this small group of fish that decided to break the rules entirely, and honestly, they're doing it so well that other fish should probably start taking notes. Take the mud skipper. At first glance, it looks like someone tried to design a fish but accidentally gave it the unshakable confidence of a lizard. Just look at that face. It has these incredible periscopic eyes mounted high on its head, swiveling independently like tiny watchtowers, constantly scanning its domain. That wide, downturned mouth gives it a perpetually unimpressed expression, as if it's silently judging all the less evolved creatures around it. Its entire home is the mangrove swamp, a strange in-between world, neither fully land nor fully sea. Here, the tide doesn't just ebb and flow, it completely vanishes for hours. When the water pulls back, it reveals a vast expanse of thick, glistening mud. This isn't just wet sand, it's a sticky, oxygen-poor ooze that could swallow your shoe whole. The air hangs heavy with the smell of salt and rich decay. For most aquatic creatures, this daily disappearing act is a nightmare. Imagine being a normal fish when your entire world drains away. You're stranded. The sun beats down, your delicate gills collapse and stick together in the open air. You can't breathe. Your only instinct is to flop around dramatically, a panic dance that usually just attracts the attention of a hungry heron. It's a death sentence, but not for the mud skipper. The mud skipper watches the water recede with calm patience. When the water is gone, it doesn't panic. It gets up, literally. For this fish, this isn't a crisis, it's an opportunity. The world is its oyster, or in this case, its mudflat. It props itself up on its powerful pectoral fins and, no joke, begins to walk. These aren't the flimsy fins you see on a goldfish. They are evolutionary marvels, more like proto-limbs. They are jointed, packed with muscle, and strong enough to lift its body clear of the suffocating mud. It uses them like crutches, planting them firmly, and then scooting its body forward with a purpose that says, I own this place. And in this strange amphibious kingdom, it kind of does. Out here on the mudflats, it has escaped its aquatic predators and gained access to a whole new menu of insects and small crustaceans that other fish can only dream of. Watching one move is a truly bizarre spectacle. Its standard transport is a shuffling crawl, a methodical movement that looks halfway between a seal's shuffle and a soldier's low crawl. But when it needs speed, it can coil its body and launch into a series of energetic skips. It's a locomotion that's part crawl, part hop, and part indignant shrug. It looks awkward, but in this world of mud it works perfectly. And their amphibious talents don't stop at just walking. In a remarkable display of adaptation, mud skippers can climb. They ascend low tree roots and even slanted branches with practiced ease. To do this, they use their powerful pectoral fins, which function almost like little arms, gripping the bark and pulling their bodies upward. This isn't a clumsy flop, it's a calculated ascent. This skill is often used to escape aquatic predators lurking below, or to hunt for unsuspecting insects, a terrestrial buffet for a fish that has mastered two worlds. To truly appreciate how bizarre this is, picture a crab in its comfort zone, perched on a mangrove root. It's feeling safe, looking down at the water with that smug, I'm above the food chain attitude. The world makes sense. Then from the murky depths, a pair of periscopic eyes emerges. A creature heaves itself out of the water and begins to climb. It's a fish, and it clambers up the same root with an unnerving, focused determination, like it's been training in some secret amphibious gym for this moment its entire life. The crab's worldview is officially shattered. It's weirdly athletic for something with gills. A bizarre but effective combination of lizard-like scurrying and fish-like wiggling. This amphibious acrobat has no problem reminding every other swamp creature that this is its turf. They are fiercely territorial. When a rival approaches, they'll perform what can only be described as fish push-ups. raising and lowering their bodies to signal strength. They'll also raise their dorsal fins in a vibrant display of dominance, a clear warning that this patch of mud is already claimed. The mud skipper's life is basically a never-ending obstacle course, a daily triathlon of swimming, crawling, and climbing. They navigate a treacherous world of slick mud flats and tangled mangrove roots. Because of this, they spend hours out of the water every day. Some species spend up to an incredible 90% of their lives on land. For almost any other fish on Earth, that amount of airtime is completely unheard of. It would be a fatal mistake. The mud skipper, however, has turned this apparent weakness into its greatest strength. So what's the secret? How does it pull off this incredible feat? It breathes through its skin and the special lining of its mouth and throat. But this biological superpower only works if it stays wet. This is precisely why you'll often see it rolling around in the mud, coating its entire body like it's auditioning for a spa commercial. But this isn't vanity. It's a critical, life-sustaining ritual. It's survival. The mud acts as a natural moisturizer and sunblock, protecting it from the harsh sun. If a mud skipper gets stranded and dries out for too long, its unique breathing system fails, and it's game over. It's a constant race against dehydration it cannot afford to lose. Its eyes are perched high on top of its head like tiny telescopes, giving it a full panoramic view. Predators coming from the water? Seen. Birds diving from above? Also seen. Rival mud skipper trying to sneak into its patch of mud? Oh, that's definitely seen. And if the heat starts drying those eyes out, it just pulls them back into its head sockets to keep them moist. Yes, it retracts its own eyeballs. The first time you see it happen, you'll think it glitched. Mud skippers aren't wanderers without a home. They're engineers. They dig burrows in the mud, sometimes over a meter deep, and those burrows are masterpieces. Inside, they trap pockets of air so they can breathe even when the tide floods their home. They'll seal the entrance with mud at high tide, turning it into a tiny underwater panic room. It's part safe house, part bachelor pad. And here's where it gets fun. Mud skippers use their climbing skills not just for survival, but for social drama. They're territorial. Males will flare their dorsal fins, leap in the air, and even charge at rivals to protect their little patch of mud. Watching two mud skippers fight is like watching two angry toddlers argue over who gets the bigger puddle. Both species can survive extreme environments. Mud skippers can handle big changes in salinity, moving between brackish and fresh water with ease. Heat? No problem, as long as they can keep moist. It's like they have an internal survival mode that never switches off. The daily life of the mangrove is a constant unfolding drama of survival. Predator-prey encounters here are as tense as any play. Picture this, a vast, shimmering mudflat, baked by the sun. Here, a mud skipper rests, flicking its tail lazily, its body camouflaged against the brown expanse. It seems relaxed, but it's perpetually on guard. High above, a silent hunter watches. A collared kingfisher, a flash of turquoise, scans the flats with keen eyesight and has already singled out its target. It makes its move. In a breathtaking instant, it plummets from its perch, a living arrow aimed at the fish. But the mud skipper has an incredible adaptation. Its bulbous eyes, mounted high on its head like periscopes, give it a panoramic view of the sky. It doesn't see the bird itself, but its rapidly growing shadow sweeping across the mud. Before the kingfisher is halfway through its dive, the mud skipper explodes into action, vanishing into its water-filled burrow, leaving the hunter stabbing at empty, wet mud. But the mud skipper is not always the one fleeing for its life. This amphibious marvel is also a formidable predator. The tables turn when it spots a tiny, unsuspecting crab scuttling near the water's edge. The mud skipper's demeanor changes instantly. It begins to stalk its prey, moving with a slow, deliberate crawl, using its pectoral fins like primitive legs to creep forward with the stealth of a cat. Then, with shocking speed, it pounces. Its powerful jaws clamp down, and it shakes its head violently to crush and disable its victim before swallowing the meal whole. Humans, of course, have long woven themselves into the life of the mangroves, finding sustenance here for generations. In coastal communities across Bangladesh and India, the anabus, or climbing perch, is a vital source of food. Eaten fresh or dried in the sun, it's a protein-rich and reliable staple. The mud skipper, by contrast, is less frequently found on the dinner plate. Instead, its hardy nature makes it excellent bait. used by local fishermen to lure larger fish from deeper channels. But the human connection isn't purely about consumption. In some traditional Thai fishing villages, the mud skipper plays a more whimsical role. Here, children might spend an afternoon carefully catching small mud skippers, not for food, but for companionship. They become temporary mud buddies, kept for a short while in simple jars. It's not about having a pet, it's a fleeting friendship, a chance to observe this incredible creature up close. After a day or two, the mud skipper is always carefully returned to the mudflats, a simple act that teaches a profound lesson of respect for the wild. If survival were an Olympic sport, mud skippers would take gold in high jump, onto roots, freestyle wrestling over mud territory, and synchronized blinking. So next time someone says a fish can't climb a tree, feel free to correct them, and then show them a mud skipper in action. It's like a cross between a fish, a frog, and a lizard, with a personality that suggests it knows it's the strangest thing in the swamp. Anyway, if a fish can walk, climb, breathe air, and make crabs uncomfortable, you can definitely hit that subscribe button. No pressure, but if you don't, a mud skipper might show up at your front door asking for directions to your living room. This is Earth-Niverse, slowly building a video nature encyclopedia. Stick around, subscribe, and let's explore together.